Okay, everybody, so if you clicked on this video, you want to learn more about hair hacks that not everybody talks about. Specifically, some are backed by science and some are proven by nature, which is my absolute favorite. As I continue to braid my face framing layers, let's get into this video. Okay, so we're going to talk about some of my favorite quote unquote secrets that I've learned over the years, chatting with doctors, interviewing, holistic practitioners, health food experts on either side of the Atlantic. So I have learned a lot over the years, and I'm going to combine a lot of the stuff that I practice in my own routine. That just works for me. And of course, I have repaired my hair because I, like everyone else, have gone through my own really long, tedious hair care journey. So let's get into number one. And for me, this is always my favorite point. So I always start with this point, and I like starting from top to bottom anyways. It's the scalp. Okay, there's so much information about what to put on your scalp, what not to put on your scalp. Of course, I'm going to share what I believe, what works for me. So nature gives us our own natural sebum. Our oily scalp comes from our sebum, and that's why I just never believe in adding anything else in there, because I've got my own beautiful sebum in there, and when I see that sebum come in, that is my sign to just wash out my scalp. All right, so I've actually seen some doctors say, and I will include some videos here, actually come out and say wash your hair every day. For me, the rule of thumb that I talk about on this channel all the time is you need to wash your hair when you need to wash out the grease in your hair. That's all it is. Why this is so important. Excess oil, grease, and buildup will suffocate your follicles. That's one reason why I don't believe on adding anything in my hair, because it's already got something in there. I add oils to the mids and ends because they don't have any oil in them and they need to be moisturized. Well, sebum, this is very important, contains testosterone. So testosterone can convert to DHT. DHT is a term you may have heard thrown a lot on the internet, like use DHT blockers because that's the hormone that'll cause issues with your hair. Here's the info on that.
Washing your hair, believe it or not, is a very important step in your hair loss journey. You should be washing your hair more frequently. Patients of mine are always surprised when I encourage them to wash every single day. Now, if you can't wash every single day, every other day, or at least once every 3 days. Now, sometimes patients of mine have hairstyles that do not allow you to wash that frequently. I would just encourage you to try. Why? Because you get a buildup of sebum around the hair follicle. The sebum can be rich in testosterone, which converts to DHT, and DHT miniaturizes hair follicles. You also get a buildup of dandruff. A clean scalp is a great environment for new hair growth and for preventing further hair loss.
So that's why you'll see a lot of packaging say, like a DHT blockers and so on and so forth. There are natural DHT blockers. This is where the natural and nature component come in, and you can find this from your nutritional regimen, aka your diet, aka what we're eating. And I've talked about this before, and I'm going to list a few in just a moment as well. Do what works for you, but the point here and what I would recommend is there's no specific routine for everybody. It's not one size fits all when it comes to the brands or how often you wash, because the greasier your hair gets, the more often you need to wash. And I met a lovely girl at the dentist office, I think it was a few months ago, and she has a hair thinning problem, and she was just listening to what people were telling her. Don't wash your hair, wash it once a week, so on and so forth. And the hair thinning got worse because the grease buildup got worse. We also need to adapt because as we get wiser, our hair changes. Okay, so let's talk DHT blockers as promised. And I can also show you guys how I do different recipes. I don't have access to my studio kitchen right now, but I can show you some here in my home kitchen. DHT blockers include like pumpkin seeds, and I have mentioned it before, guys. They're so easy to bake with, and they don't taste like, there's no harsh flavor in them. So they're really easy to throw in a whole bunch of different kinds of foods. Green tea, berries, spinach, all of these produce that I mentioned are DHT blockers. But your takeaway from this is that the DHT may be converted from the testosterone, which is found in the sebum. So I would not sit around having sebum on my scalp. Once again, this is backed by science, and then it's also proven by nature. So my takeaway here for everybody, a clean, balanced scalp is really the foundation for healthy hair. Okay, hack number 2, towel drying and drying techniques. Well, if you guys watch me, you know I love my t-shirt drying. So these are all movie t-shirts because I actually started my career at MGM United Artists. And when you work for a film studio, the first thing we were always making in publicity and promotions, like, is always t-shirts, is what we're using to promote the film. So I have drawers and drawers of t-shirts, and then also we would trade with other film studios. So I've got a ton, and these are all 100% cotton. So your hair is obviously the weakest when it's wet. I know a lot of people have done that. You know, I don't disagree with it very much. They've shown that spaghetti campaign where it's like cooked spaghetti versus like raw spaghetti. I wouldn't say that's an exact comparison, but it is. What I like to say is it's just more fragile when it's wet. So I just uploaded a video about my whole post hair care wash routine, and I think at the point when I was separating the clumps and combing, it really got into ASMR. Some people will probably think it's too much, but I really treat it like satin or silk. So when it comes to the t-shirt drying, little bit accent coming out for drying. No, it's drying. It's really this for me. It really is. It's none of this. I actually catch grandma doing this all the time. And I tell her like, no, please don't do that. That is like number 1 for breakage. And just even if you're not doing this, I find like the towels are so harsh now that I haven't used them in years and years and years. I can't believe we ever did that. Microfiber towels are amazing too. I have it in this drawer. And you guys, they are just really easy and very accessible to get. You can find them like now at like dollar stores or Euro trees and stuff like that. So wherever you are in the world, I think there's like a version. So remember, it's just very gentle and downwards motions, and I think you'll see a difference right away with this. Also, when the hair is wet, I really like to give it a blast blow dry before I do anything else. Look, the difference between air drying and blast blow drying is that the hair that takes a long time to dry will stay moist for a long period of time. And I think that is not good for the hair. I have discussed that before on, I was going to say on the show, on the channel. So I like to give myself a blast blow dry, especially in these regions. You don't want to keep your hair moist for long periods of time. And then I don't do heat styling, excluding the blast blow dry. But if you are heat styling, let that baby dry like 80% before you get into anything. You want to be safe rather than sorry at this stage. Okay, so now we're going to sleep our way to better hair. I mean, these are so inexpensive now, and they are everywhere. You can get these cute little sets everywhere online, like local department stores, satin pillowcases. I even just noticed online there was available mulberry silk, just like scrunchies. So let me just show you all this. This is mulberry silk. I got this from Amazon. Unfortunately, I love how this feels. It doesn't stay on my head. I got this for a few dollars. And then this is my shower cap, and this has microfiber inside here. Basically, you want to get great products for when you sleep. I mean, we're doing it for every single day for so many hours. You need to have a fantastic system for your hair while you sleep. I love the pineapple bun. I'll insert my insert or do a split screen here, and I always wrap it. I prefer like the satin scrunchies, and I am going to buy the mulberry silk scrunchies. I just saw them online. I think Shein has them in a bunch of other stores, so I'm definitely going to invest in that. For me, that has been a fantastic investment, and they're not expensive at all. It's really critical for your hair to have something to slide against. So again, you've got your pillowcase, you've got your silk caps, and you've got your scrunchies. Okay, oils. I'm not referring to this hack as far as oils for your ends and mids. This trick refers to oils prior to washing, which would mean that you would want to do a very lightweight oil at this step. I know people online are saying use very heavy oils at this step, but coconut oil for my hair type is way too heavy, so I can't recommend it for this step. Also, oil with silicone, so on and so forth, that adds a shield to the hair and it doesn't penetrate as much, which is why I actually like silicones for masks and conditioners. But when it comes to oil that I want to seep into my hair, I want the hair to drench it and to protect the hair, this is where I like argan oils, like the cold pressed Moroccan argan oil. I love the grapeseed oil. I talk about it all the time. It's full of linoleic acid, which is the vitamin E, and you don't feel it in your hair. Very lightweight, very easy to wash out. This is the barrier that I like before I wash my hair. So I just massage very little in. I mean, if you don't have time, 10 to 30 minutes is okay. And this is really great to protect your hair proteins from being stripped by the shampoo. Again, we're just shampooing our scalp, but the products, of course, are running down the ends, the lengths of our hair. And I also love, of course, sealing in all the moisture with a different kind of oil after my hair is freshly washed. So at that stage, I really love like the Olaplex 7. I just got the Kerastase, a little sample, so I haven't tried that yet. I like the Joico Blonde Life. There are a lot of fantastic oils. Again, because there are no other hairs, okay, connecting to our ends, there are holes there. It's not connected to anything else. So when we're replenishing our moisture after we've washed it with our leave-ins, we really need to seal that in with a nice oil. So I guess this point does address the two parts for the oil. The first one being the protection prior to shower, and the second one being to seal in our ends. Next hack, cold water. Talked about it before. I absolutely love this. Number one, we shouldn't be taking hot showers anyways. We shouldn't be washing our hair rather with like hot water. The lukewarm water, I think, is the perfect temperature. It's going to open up our cuticles. We're going to accept this beautiful product that we're adding onto our hair now, and then we're rinsing everything out with cool water. Don't be afraid. Don't think ice here. Just get it from lukewarm to cool to cold. And that is my absolute favorite thing to do. This is going to close the cuticle layer. So we're going to have less frizz, more shine, more smoothness. Remember the outer layer of the cuticle. Think of it as like shingles on a roof. We want to close that cuticle. Okay. We want to have smooth cuticle, and the cool water I find really helps that. Sidebar here, whenever I do my conditioners or deep masks in the shower, I actually smooth down my cuticle with the product. Once you get used to like the lukewarm, cool, cold for the rinse out, I always like doing it a little bit here on my scalp too. And again, we're boosting circulation, and the stimulation in the scalp is actually incredible for just encouraging healthier hair growth. A few quick rapid fire hacks before we get into the last one, which is my absolute favorite. So the rapid fire hacks would be get a comb. I almost said wide tooth comb because that's what I use first. I use my coconut infused wide tooth comb. Get combs, brushes that suit your hair type. I use the Tangle Teasers, the wet brushes, a coconut infused wide tooth comb, and I'm on the hunt right now for a better brush, meaning something that's going to penetrate my hair better, because my hair was I was treating it so gently over the last few years till it just recouped back to normal. Now I am ready to invest in maybe like a Berber brush. I mean, they're all quite expensive right now. Rapid tip again, avoid the tight hairstyles, or if you do them, I mean, when I used to present the weather on national TV here in Canada, I had to have my hair up in every shift. It had to be up. So I went through my share of tight ponytails, but as soon as I got out of there, I gave myself a scalp massage and I didn't keep it up for the remainder of the day. And then also I was very meticulous about what I used when I had it up there. So no elastics, just do a trade-off, everybody. Like, you can find really good scrunchies right now, so make sure you do a good trade up there. And then when you see your split ends, that's when I would trim. There's no period of time like 6 to 8 week trims or anything like that. The healthier my hair got, the less trims I needed. I definitely would not be splitting the ends any higher. I would just trim. You do need to trim those split ends for sure, so they don't split higher. They're not going to split to your root, but they are going to split higher. And it's just, there's no point in having like those uneven ends. They're really unattractive, really unhealthy. There's no point to that. Your hair, you won't even notice the ends. Your hair will feel so thick and healthy at the bottom when you get those done. And just remember, tell the stylist, just a dusting. Okay, and my favorite hack is nutrition. Not because I host a travel and culinary show, but just because I've learned so much over the years. Nutrition is everything. I incorporated fish oils into my nutritional regimen, aka diet, a few years ago, and I saw enormous changes. I mean, my eyes were more lubricated because this was recommended from my eye doctor. More lubrication on my scalp because I have such sensitive skin. Of course, I'm not here to give specific recommendations. I would definitely see your own medical practitioner, as I saw mine and he gave me amazing advice. But the science behind this is that hair is made up of keratin, which is a protein. So without enough nutrients, the hair does become more brittle, more thin, and just slower to grow. So I eat protein-rich foods. I have a protein-rich diet. I make sure I get a lot of zinc and iron, again, from pumpkin seeds, lentils, leafy greens. My protein comes from eating a lot of eggs, which I never used to eat. I eat all sorts of meat, a lot of fish, as I mentioned. Beans even I've been eating lately. And then my vitamin D, omega-3, my salmon, my chia seeds. I make sure that I have a balanced diet. But guys, I can't stress this enough that you should always consult with your medical practitioner, because when I had the viral virus and I was so sick and I couldn't eat, I remember speaking to my doctor and he said when I was recouping that my vitamins were, thank goodness, my vitamins were all perfect. So he specifically told me not to take any extra vitamins, and then he just recommended that I continue my vitamin D, but no supplements and no vitamins. And that was his recommendation. So sometimes we think we need more than we do. That's why it's so important to check with your doctor. And then my last lifestyle tie-in would be stay cool, chill out. Everything's temporary. Everything's gonna be okay, because the more stress we have, or the more obsessive we get over things or around things, I just don't think that that is good for our bodies. I know that has never been good for me. The cooler, more laid back, more balanced lifestyle I have, the better I feel, the better I look, the better everything feels. Skin, hair, health, etc., etc. So I hope that was helpful for everybody, and inquiries are always welcome in the description box below, or if you want to see specific products or anything else, please let me know. I do love hearing from you all, and I will see you guys in the next one. This one has been a blast. Bye. Bisous, bisous.